So welcome back to a brand new video. Sadly, I am here to bring part 9 of the Beginner Chess Lessons video series. And the reason I say sadly is because at the end of this video, we will reach the rating of 1200. And what that means is we are no longer a beginner, hence the end of this series, but there will still be plenty more to come. I want to say thank you everyone for supporting the channel thus far. If this is a video you enjoy, if it's a video you learn something from, feel free to drop a like on the video. If you want to see more chess content, subscribe to the channel. So I appreciate everyone's support, and with that, let's go ahead and start the first game. Alright, so we got the white pieces here. Let's play e4, which we have been playing throughout this series. e5, and we play knight f3 and knight c6. We'll play bishop b5. Okay, so we're going to look to castle very soon, after we get the bishop back here to b3. Remember that we have that long diagonal there. We'll castle. This pawn is hanging, but we're okay with that. Okay, so now we protect it. He has his bishop out here. He's castled. So a little bit of what we call a positional game, where there may not be a whole lot of tactics going on, but when you kind of make a beginner level player play a bit more out in a position like this, sometimes it's easy to identify mistakes they make. So hopefully this will be what happens here. So we're going to attack this pawn here with 1, 2, compared to just 1. You could play 1, that there, but apparently he does not see that. Is he up to something? Let's do a quick one of these. So we have two pieces attacking there. Okay, that makes sense. Let's see if we can pull a fast one on him. If he takes, we take. Okay, now we're attacking 1, 2. He can't play rook there, which we would have to look out for because we could take back there. And we have a good position, but we do have to finish our development here. I am being a little arrogant and forgetting some of my own lessons. Ooh, interesting move. Alright, so let's think here. Bishop takes pawn. If we take back with the queen, he plays queen here. We go back, and he resigns because that wasn't a very good move. But good game to our opponent, and we'll go ahead and play the next one. So one thing that I do recognize as someone with a little more experience is what openings may be a little more difficult for beginner level players to play, that being one of them that we just played. When there's a lot of moves that you may even have to memorize, and if you play a couple moves off that are not really correct, it can put you in a worse position, which I was starting to recognize there. So it is one thing you kind of learn with experience. And especially when you learn an opening, you learn what moves shouldn't be made and how to kind of punish a player who makes the wrong moves there. So there was a little bit of me recognizing that there, but also him making a sacrifice that he really just shouldn't have made. So I'm assuming that's why he resigned there. Okay, we're going to attack the center here. Let's go back. I'm moving without talking here. So we see e4, c5, which we've been playing. He plays queen f3, which we do not recommend. I play e6 to block any kind of bishop movement there. And let's go back. Okay, and then he plays knight c3. How do we follow up? That is the question. Do we take? Does he take back? Let's continue to build a little bit of tension in the center. So let's play knight c6. And we want to get this knight to f3 pretty soon. I want to get this bishop developed. That looks like an option. Then after he moves the bishop backwards, maybe here, you can play pawn there, and then we look better. Now we still have the option to go knight there, and then knight there. Look to attack that, but we still have to get everything developed here. The reason I didn't want to play knight here now is if he takes, then we either have to take with the pawn now, or he takes with the queen, and we take with the queen, and we take with the pawn then. So one way or another, it opens up our king side, and a little bit reluctant to do that right now. But what I see here is bishop takes, pawn takes, knight here. So I'll be attacking that pawn and this pawn here. If I take that pawn here, I would be forking the king and the rook, and we would get a free rook. And that is a jackpot. We can still go for that. I'm considering en passant here, but if he takes back the pawn, then I can't play knight there. So we'll go ahead and do it this way. I'm assuming he'll go, oh, got it wrong, but so we're still attacking 1, 2. There may not be a pawn there, but that same move is just as effective as it was before. So he can take here, but that would be a mistake. Can't take here, what am I saying? And this might be a mistake by him also. So I think queen here could cause him a little bit of pain. So we have to move that knight maybe to here, and we have that check. That check. Ooh, so he sees that. So for now, put the bishop there, protect that pawn, look to get this knight out. So we didn't totally forget about the development, but if you see an opportunity to jump in, sometimes you just have to do it. And that's kind of what happened there. Interesting move. Not sure I'm following. It would give him the option to take there and open up our king should we castle that way. But now I'm considering... I'm considering not castling. Let's do something different. He has queen here. Just put the king up there. And I don't see a really clean way for him to get into our position from there. I don't really see a clean way for him to do much, to be honest with you. Because this bishop is stuck. This knight is not involved. It's not stuck, but there's not a whole lot it's doing right now. Okay, so let's look to get our queen involved, because he can't go... Oh, he can go here, excuse me. That was a mistake, and I'm glad we recognize that now. He can go here, and then he wins the bishop, actually. But I'm hoping our attack here is a little stronger. So we want to try to avoid check, but we can't... Oh, we can go here, I'm sorry. I'm overlooking everything. Okay, so that's protected. Queen here looks like a solid move. He can't go here because of the pawn. He would have to go there, and I think he's trying to give himself some space to run to with that move there. Okay. That doesn't move like that. Let's look at trade some things off here, but we also get to take in the center here. So he can take back with that, the bishop. Take back with the queen, check, then I can take this pawn again. So we're making a lot of progress into his position here. And then knight here is still an option. Can kind of connect these, not connect the rooks, but at least have them only with the king between them. Okay, take there. Does he block? Does he go out there? The world may never know. Just kidding, we'll know very soon. So now his rooks are connected, so we do have to look out for him playing a move just like rook there. So what I think what we can do, this looks very subtle, but queen takes there next. And now look at this central pawn structure we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is just everything. And let's play another sneaky move. Oh, that's not a sneaky move. We're just blundering that. Gotta have a little bit of fun, too. Okay, so we could take there. We're still up a few pawns here. Okay. Knight there, and we'll push. And we'll protect. Okay, we're going to break that pin that we had before. And he is just running with that knight. Where, we don't know, but he's running with it. That doesn't do anything for him, neither does that. Let's see what he does to react to this pawn. Okay, so he can do some fancy stuff here. So can we. First thing we can do is trap that bishop. Alright, what do we want to do with this knight? That is the question. I'll protect it. Okay. And let's put another set of eyes on that pawn there. He's getting a little bit low on time. We want to try to get a little more pressure on him here. We want to take the rook that he's hanging. And gotta go get our eyes checked after this game, because I think that's been hanging out there for a little while. That would be a nice move if this pawn wasn't there. Well, unfortunately it is. And I don't know where that pony is going next. That's a lie, I do know. Okay, so let's push some pawns. When in doubt, push pawns. The move didn't go through. I see a freebie. Do you see a freebie? And we got protection there. Sure. We'll do that. We'll even do this. One more? Is that a checkmate? It is. Ta-da! So, stay patient, and we get that checkmate right in the center of the board. You don't see that every day. Obviously, he can't go here, he can't go here, he can't go here, can't go here, he can't go here, he can't go here, and that is what we call checkmate. So, good game to our opponent. He did play well, but we were able to grind out a win there. Okay, so let's start our next game. We're playing with the black pieces. We see one c4. I don't think we've seen that before. We'll start out with e6 and then look to play d5 after. We make an exchange in the center and then go with our normal opening principles here. Alright, we'll play knight f6 before that, but either way I think the same ideas are going to be what we're going for. Okay, so we have 1, 2 of these kind of pawns attacking the center. He has this, and this is very close to what you call a queen's gambit from white. It's a gambit because I can take that pawn, though we can take back with the bishop. It's kind of the idea that he's sacrificing a pawn for position. It's not really a true sacrifice if you're going to get the material back in just a moment. So this is a very standard, what we call line, kind of continuation out of that opening. So props to my opponent for knowing it, but once you kind of get out of the opening is when things can get a little crazy. So let's see if we can put some pressure on him and get a win here. So he doesn't have that. We'll go ahead and play a6. Even h6 is a pretty good move to have in a moment. You can play something like queen there and pressure that pawn, despite us having the knight there, because he could get rid of that. Alright, so here's when things get interesting. I do think our best move is to take the pawn here. I don't want to give him the square here on e5 to put a pawn on. So I'll likely take back that way. We'll probably trade off knights. And we'll have a merry day. I would like if he exchanged here, and this pawn is a little weak in the center here if it is, because we'll have 1, 2 attacking it. Though I do have the option to take back if he takes me and I take back. I think we have a little more of a solid position that way. I do have the option to take or take like that. The principle that he is ignoring here is you don't want doubled pawns, especially in the center. You had the option to have these two pawns work together, but you just gave one away. So this is kind of what I'm getting to about not kind of knowing the position after you get out of the normal opening. So I move the rook over to d8 here. I have that pin going, although he just broke it there. And we have a nice move, knight here, attacking 1, 2. And it looks like we'll even win this, because he won't be able to take it back with the queen. could play... Oh, we can't play rook there because we take a queen too. So we just put ourselves in a good position to be up a piece here. Piece and a pawn. Fantastic. So he's deep in thought. I'm gonna have to take. So I do have the option to take with the rook here, but then he would take the knight, and we wouldn't be up a piece. So he could play rook there, but oh, do I have that same option again? I think I do. 1, 2. Knights are tricky. I think we've established that after this many games. Although he could take, I take, and then he takes. I did miss that. But he doesn't see it. He takes back there, and it's really just an exchange at that point. But this is just a full-out campground for that knight. He is just having the time of his life, doing whatever he wants there. I can take the pawn there, but I'm wondering if that square here is a little bit stronger. I just really wouldn't get as much out of moving it back. So we're going to get our queen involved. Going to attack the knight here. Get that bishop developed. That way our rooks are connected and they're much, much safer. So I may have to go bishop here, bishop there, because if I move that pawn forward, I might be in trouble. So he can take here, but I'm quite okay with that. Unfortunately, I can't play bishop there, because he can just take it. That would be a good way to attack it. Although, that was a interesting move. You generally don't want to move into a pin just like that, which allows me to do that, and we have this here. So he's really moving his queen back and forth, which is not a recommended maneuver. And I do want to get, I think it's time to get these rooks involved. I think it's time to stack them up and get something else going on this attack. It's tempting to go takes, but I think we can do better than that. I think we have to be patient. We are a little better on time as well, although that does seem to be a theme here through these games. And I'm pre-moving there so we can take back. Let me play queen over to there. That way if that knight ever moves, I have an immediate checkmate. That's a good move, I think. Is there a way to get a trick out of this though? I'm going to do that. So if he takes there, it's just checkmate. Because obviously the bishop, I'm sorry, then the rook is the more appealing piece there. So if he misses my attack, then that's fantastic. If he takes here, okay, so he sees it. And I did think we're up a piece. When did we lose that? Oh, we blundered the knight. That's why he took there. I see. Okay, well, that's good to know. We have to look out for that for the future. But there is a very a theme worth mentioning that every single chess player makes mistakes. I can't even say it correctly. Even grandmasters, they'll make simple mistakes in games. There's always just so much focus and attention required that if your mind is elsewhere for half a second, the game could just be lost. And it doesn't mean you're bad, it means you're human. And I think the difference there is really important to note. So we want to take there. Okay, I'll probably do that. I'll play pawn there after. No, not pawn there, pawn there. He is getting a little low on time here as well. And it looks like we're about halfway to 1200. We'll be close to 1180 after this game, so about 20 points away, maybe 2 or 3 games. So he can't take, or else I win a rook. I can take back there, so I get the momentum. We're going to block his little attack there. Not so subtle attack by him. So yeah, we'll take with the pawn next move, should nothing crazy happen here. He could play there. It's a solid move. I could also play... Do you want to sacrifice? I won't allow it. I don't think it would work, but still not worth allowing at this point. Well, actually it could work, because rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes, attacking 1, 2, because this pawn is no longer here. So, good idea by him. I'm glad I defended. Alright, so on to the next game. White piece is e4. What do we see as a follow-up? We see e5, knight f3 will play. And we see bishop knight c6. Play bishop b5. We played this line a few games ago, and it worked quite well for us, and we'll castle here. Let's not forget about castling. Okay. We'll look to attack the center. We'll play c3, and our idea is to play d4 after that. And we'll go for it. And I think we might just win a piece here. Because now, that knight can't move. It's going to take with the knight, the bishop. Okay, so that's a good start. We're up kind of a piece. I guess it's technically 2 pawns because he won a pawn in return. But we're going to pin that knight to the queen. And we're going to just keep on rolling. If we could get that knight there, that would be perfect because we'd have 2 things attacking that pin. But with these pieces here, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to. If I had to guess, I would say he doesn't know what to do here, because when you start pushing a pawn, sometimes it's your way of saying that I'm not really sure what else I can do. This is a move that he can play. That is not a wise move. This bishop is protected. He could be seeing that, but you generally don't want to start moving your rooks early in the game off of your back rank. Every rule in chess can be broken, but... Okay, so I had to take there, going back, because should I have not taken, he would have taken, I could take back, and then he could take with the rook. So we have to be wary of tactics like that. Alright, so what do we want to do here? I think breaking this pin looks like a good idea. What do you think? If he takes, happy to take back with the queen. He would take, we take there, and up that piece. We can open up our king here. I'm not too concerned with that. Now if he goes back, we can play g4. We can trap it. Okay, so he just moves back entirely. And I think now is a good time for us to try to get the momentum and attack. Now to figure out how to do it. I think this looks like a good move. I think if he takes, we win that. I think if he takes, well, we take there. I think that's a freebie. I think that looks like a freebie right after. And now being up a bit more materially, we may even look to trade queens. Or I may look to trade queens, meaning he might try to avoid it. But maybe we won't give him that option. Maybe we'll force it. Pawn here doesn't work. I could take, or I can take there. Taking with this rook would allow me to get this rook involved in the game. It's a pretty good move by him. That stops, or attacks, obviously, that bishop. And it stops us from taking that pawn. So maybe rook there for him next move. We'll just bring the bishop back, play a little defense, especially with us being up 2 pieces. So you do see the countdown here, which we're +4 because he's gotten some pawns in exchange for the pieces we've taken. But I think in the long term that will definitely benefit us. And we do see that pawn hanging, which would attack 1, 2. That would be great to take next move. And I still think he feels limited on his options. Because when I see a position like this, there's just not a lot clear. Okay, what do we want to do? We can move back. Totally fine move. Is there a sacrifice? I can just take the rook with the queen, but that's not a good trade. That's just being cocky. We don't need to do that. I'll play queen here. Okay. Like we said, we'll attack those two. And we'll just grind away at his position. We'll go here, look to trade. If he plays pawn there, we'll just take. His pawn here would reveal exactly that. What a tricky guy. And we'll take. Got an itchy nose. Stack those rooks up. Let's get these two guys involved. Let's make it a team sport. Team game, sport, whatever we call chess these days. Okay. Let's get some pressure there. Maybe bishop there. Maybe knight there. Maybe we'll throw a party for him. Okay, so that move takes away bishop here. So knight here still does work though. Okay, do get that check out of it. Let's play, is there a checkmate? Let's play, is there a resignation? That was a little easier, okay. But we were looking at possibly rook there, which forces him to go here. Maybe checkmate? Oh, I don't think I needed to do that. Let's do it quick. Okay. Oh, mate in two. Okay, so it goes there and then. That's it! Cool. Alright, let's get out of this somehow. And let's play our final two games of this video. Thanks for coming along and joining me on this journey. I don't know if we've seen this yet. We play e4, and what do we see in return other than g6? We'll play e5. We'll just take up that diagonal, so this bishop has nothing to attack here. And we'll back that pawn up with the one on d4. And he'll look to break that, but we'll just put some more pressure there. So if he takes, we'll take back, and he still can't really get access to the diagonal. Bishop there looks like a strong move pretty soon. So he's really trying to protect that thing. Okay. We'll protect it as well for now. Maybe bishop there next to get rid of one of the attackers. We'll do that. If he takes. Interesting. Let's do that first off. Okay. We'll break this pin. So if he takes, we can take. Okay. We will have to do that. We'll have to get out of the way, but that's okay. I'll have double stacked pawns. He's probably looking to castle long next move. I don't want to take there because he can check. I don't want to go there. I'm okay with just developing the knight and him doing that. So if he were to castle there, I can immediately take that pawn. I want to look to castle short next move. Yeah, I don't know how well he thought this through. I think rook there. Actually, rook there. Rook f to d1. We say f because that's the square it's coming from, or the file is coming from. No, I'm not going to take, actually. First, I almost took, but I play bishop here. I'm sorry, knight there, with the intent of playing c4, which attacks that. Adds the pin there. Okay, so he got out of it there. But let's make this a little less fun on him. Alright, so I see check, but I see a pawn follow-up blocked by the queen there. Instead, I do see that, so he can play there. But we can go here, check, and that would be mate because he can't block the rook. Okay, so he is in trouble. Wouldn't be able to go here, wouldn't be able to go here, wouldn't be able to go there, and there's nothing he can block with. So when you castle long, that's a good move, but what we said before, c4. Now this is pinned, and we're going to be able to take that. That'll be a free piece. He might try to like trade queens here. Do we go for that? Takes, takes, takes. I do feel like there should be something better here, but I won't push it. Let's see. Okay, we'll give that to him. Then we'll take, and then we'll take. That's not so bad. We're just up a clean piece. We have these two pawns that are just raring to run down the side of the board. And we'll put that bishop back to safety, and we'll just look to not early exchange any, or actually we'll look to exchange other pieces from there. And he's going to try to attack, and we're going to stop him from attacking, and that'll really be the name of the game from here on out. Although we still have check. Oh, we have check. Say check. Cheese. It's like cheese, but it's check. And we'll take. And we'll trap his king. No, we won't. We're going to take some pawns. It's like a lawnmower, but it's a pawn mower. Yeah, we'll move that up. Okay. And now there is absolutely nothing he can do to stop us from winning. So as much as we probably could have defended those the whole way up, I just didn't think it was totally necessary. We'll just have to make sure we stay off certain squares here. Just to clarify, there's no checkmate for him. So I don't know where he's running to, but best of luck to him. Is he trying to get stalemated? No, there will never be a stalemate with the pieces he has on the board there. Creative. Creative, very creative. Alright, so we're going to be careful, but there's not going to be a stalemate. Because now we just make sure we add a check. Goes there. Go here. 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 And is that it? Nope. Alright, what's the quickest way to do this? This would be a stalemate, because he would not be able to go anywhere. There's 100 ways to do this. I'm just trying to figure out the simplest one. Okay. And the checkmate. Good game to our opponent. We have one game to go. I can't believe the day is finally here. I'm sad. I'm sad to see it go, but there's plenty more to come. It's not goodbye. It's just not goodbye. I don't know what it is. We have an attacker. Nothing like an attacker. I think this is good, and we'll use that as an opportunity to develop. That, yeah. Oh, we don't want to do that. That would hang something. Hanging pieces is not recommended. Just about to say, that's probably coming next. Okay, we'll give him that. Pawn's hanging, attack 1, 2. Pawn is still hanging, attacking 1, 2. Also attacking that. What do you want to do about it? We'll take it. Do we have a trick? Is he going to play that? He's not. Okay, we're up a pawn, but we're up a ton of development here. We're castled. We got everything moving around. He's going to do it now, though. And I just totally missed that pawn being here, so hopefully he does not do that. Alright, so we gave him a freebie. Happens to the best of us. We'll take back. And he doesn't take back. What a miracle. Okay. I was going to try to trade queens, but let's try to play sound chess. Play rook there, I'll check him. He has no interest in that, apparently. Check, and we'll play bishop there. Look for another check there. Ooh, what are you doing, buddy? Alright, we'll trade you. I think moving the king is a bit of a better move there. But we're not going to trade. We're going to hold that pin. We're going to make him feel the pain. We're going to put a rook there. We're going to get all up in his business. We're going to make it a tough day for him. I'm just making this phrasing up on the spot, so ignore me if it just sounds absolutely insane. Okay, I'm going to attack there. Maybe we go there next. If he takes, we can move that pawn forward. There's just so many options. Did I mention that? He really wants to trade queen, so we can go there, force a trade, and then take back. I don't mind our position, put it that way. But do we need to? Not really convinced we do. But I think he might try to put rook there next if he doesn't, so I think it's better off to do this. Okay, I expected that. He has to take back with the knight, so we play rook there again, threatening that. And those knights can be tricky, but this is probably a position that favors bishops a little more. Now the question becomes which way to take. I think this pawn chain is a little more powerful. That's not going to do a whole lot for him. He's probably going to move there. We're going to see an endgame here, boys and girls, but yeah, I'm not afraid of anything he can do here. Gonna look to do that. Oh, take that back. We're gonna just use these two as a team. Play bishop there. He's got plenty of space to go to. We're just gonna, we're not. We are gonna push. We're gonna push that one. He gave us the option, and we're gonna take that. Do we do that? No, we do this. He has to do a sacrifice here, if I'm calculating correctly, which is never a guarantee. But just like that. Now he has to go there. I queen. He takes. We take. And now we're up a lot to a little. Okay, 1, 2 are attacking. Here's our plan. Oh, you dirty player. Okay, that's okay. Nothing really is going on here. We can trade everything off and call it a day, and that's about as far as I'm concerned. So, bishop will never be taken by a king. He can't protect that pawn. So as far as he runs over, maybe he goes to there. We go all the way back over there, and we start to play pawn mower and just get rid of these pawns. There's no way for him to protect this one, but there's no way to. I don't know why he did that either. So, we'll try to run this out for a queen. take that, and he can take that back. Take that one. At this point, it's really inconsequential what we do. It's more of just kind of the finishing touches. And he resigns. Friends, thank you for joining me on this journey. We have reached 1,200. We've learned a lot. We've seen level of play increase in our opponents. We've talked about a lot of themes. We've talked about lessons, openings, middle games, end games, our plans, our positions, how to evaluate different tactics, a little bit of everything. And I say a little bit because there's more to come. There's a lot more to come, and I want to turn a little into a lot. So once again, thank you for joining me. I hope this the series has been instructional and it's been educational. I hope to improve my own teaching as these videos progress, but I feel happy with this start, and again, I want to say thank you for the 47th time here. So with that, I'm going to close out the video.